Welcome back to Tied Down TV, the punk rock opinion show with me, Geoff.
I'm Danny.
And today we're doing top 5 opening tracks. But before we get to that, little gig report. Last night, wasn't it?
Spy, Stiff Meds, Going Off, Star and Guard to Manchester, Violence.
It went off.
Dustbins.
Fucking bins flying around. Yeah, it was killer though.
But it was one of the best lineups I've been to in Manchester for a while.
Shout out to really all three bands, were fucking great. Like, to be fair, yeah, it was proper good, and it did get a little bit tasty at times, but it was a good show. Yeah. So top 5 opening tracks, pretty self-explanatory. Not a lot to say.
No, not really. Just literally, you know, when an album opens up with a ripper, you know, that usually it can set the standard, can't it? Though
sometimes it can also be a fucking that was the best song on the album.
Yeah, it can be. You know, it's one of them. I mean, can the album really like live up to the rest of the? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can it live up? But yeah, there's not really much else to say other than let's get into it.
Let's do it then. Okay.
I'm going to go first.
I think you should.
I'm taking it first.
I think you should.
Yeah, I'm going to go Nirvana, Smells Like Teen Spirit.
And that's why you went first.
Yeah, the ultimate fucking, you know...
I would say...
The ultimate 90s teen anthem.
That
changed music.
The best opening track for me. Like.
Changed music. You know, it was just... it's just... Even now, it's still so incredible to me, that song. You know what I mean? Even if they are a Primark t-shirt band... You know, it's still, to me, as soon as I hear that, it's literally a crank up the volume. It still has the same effect it had on me. Iconic song, iconic band, iconic songwriter.
Albums.
Iconic album, everything. It's just one of the best rock songs ever, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it was easy pick for me.
Yeah, I could have picked that as well, to be fair, but it's the best opening song for me, I think, of my generation anyway. As we talked about many times before, it's like
probably the first
unlocking of the door of alternative music for me.
Probably the first alternative album I ever had was Nevermond.
I bought it from Woolworths in New Ferry.
I got it from Rock second hand, $4.99.
Nice. I can't remember what it cost. A couple of weeks worth of pocket money, probably.
Yeah.
Sound. So first pick for me, I've gone Search and Destroy, Iggy and the Stooges off Raw Power from 1973. Much like Smells Like Teen Spirit, I'm going to shout this as being one of the greatest opening tracks in rock and roll history. Fucking unbelievable. We've talked loads about the Stooges on this channel, how much we both love them. For me, one of the greatest rock and roll bands of all time. Iggy is one of, if not the greatest rock and roll frontman of all time. But this song just opens so fucking well, doesn't it? The Iggy, the Bowie mix, sorry, is my preferred choice of it. Like the one that was on the original release, but it's just loud in your face, fucking right there, screaming, wailing guitars. Class album all the way through. Anyway, Raw Power, but that kicked the door open. For that was probably the first Stooges song I heard. I'd probably heard a few Iggy Pop songs on the radio and that, but when I tried to look at the Stooges, that was the first one I heard, and it's still probably one of my favourites by them, and it is, as I say, one of the greatest opening tracks in rock and roll history, hands down for me. Wouldn't disagree with that. My next, I've gone Here to Stay by Sheer Terror off the album Just Can't Hate Enough, because I think it's not only is it a great song, what a way to introduce yourself. The great song, and in Paul Bearer's unique way, was everything. The thing that I've always said, the thing that's special about Sheer Terror is the lyrics, and you know the song's called Here to Stay. That's what he said. It's still going now, and to open up with just a snotty, in your face kind of way, and you know how good that band is, you know how good that song is. And to just open it with it's quite an arrogant statement as well, isn't it? Really, in a way, confident. Maybe confident, mate. I would say so if I was arrogant. It's just believing in themselves.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah, it's it's kind of like we're here to stay, kind of thing. And even the end of the very like it or not, we are here to stay. Yeah. And it's just definitely one of the greatest hardcore openers ever. Wow. So that's my second pick.
My second pick, I'm going to challenge your greatest hardcore opener ever with mine, which is Victim in Pain by Agnostic Front from the album Victim in Pain in 1984. Just one of the...
I'm not going to argue with that.
One of the greatest hardcore albums of all time anyway. 15 minutes, don't bang. But this song kicks off. It's so good, so fucking good. I saw them live years ago when I was in Canada. And even though they had bigger singles, you know, in the 90s and that, when they played this, this was the one that fucking went off the most for, like, in, you know, short song. But once again, it's just so fucking, isn't it? Like, what am I? You know, chanty and sing along. Like I say, for me, one of the greatest hardcore albums of all time, but that is fucking, if you're going straight hardcore punk, that's the best opener in hardcore punk for me. Like, and I'll die on that hill.
Yeah. We obviously, as normal, we're picking songs that are linked to the punk pool.
Yeah.
Because we were discussing, weren't we, earlier on, could we get away with it as like too metal?
Yeah.
You mentioned, like, you rightfully mentioned that Black Sabbath
by Black Sabbath
is
Black Sabbath.
one of the best.
Yeah.
And I was like, for this channel though,
I'll be honest, if you'd have let me have that, I might have then tried to squeeze it.
Exactly,
like
man. Where are we going? Do you know what I mean?
Bring the rockers or
yeah,
something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right. But I'm kind of pushing it here, but I definitely think this counts.
Yeah, this counts.
Yeah, I've gone Motorhead, Ace of Spades.
Yeah.
The ultimate live fast, die young anthem. The ultimate rock and roll.
It's pure rock and roll.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Fucking,
man.
and the guy lived it and he died it, and it doesn't get as real as that. And as soon as you hear that bass, ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding, and I always thought for years it was a guitar until I seen him play it live. I was like, fuck, he makes that noise on his bass. Yeah, it's incredible, but powerful bass sound. And I remember seeing that when I was a kid on Top of the Pops, and I couldn't believe how fast it was. And I couldn't believe that there was something that extreme and that fast then. And yeah, you listen to the lyrics and it, you know, it's just live fast, die young. Yeah. And that's exactly how he lived, wasn't it, really? Well, he didn't die young, but you know, you get my point.
He lived
he basically died on stage, didn't he? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he lived rock and roll.
And and no one, they're one of them bands, no one dislikes Motorhead, do they?
No.
Maybe they do, I don't know, but you know.
I mean, yeah, but generally speaking.
Yeah, generally everyone in the like extreme music world.
Even not, sometimes.
Yeah,
You know
everyone in the extreme music world loves appreciates what Motorhead have done.
Yeah.
And like very much like Teen Spirit, if you're going to make an ultimate rock and roll songs list, it's got to be up there on it. Ace of Spades and Teen Spirit, they've got to be up there.
Of course.
So yeah, Ace of Spades, Motorhead.
Excellent. So pick number 3 for me. I'm shooting a little bit left field. I've gone for Arcarsenal by At the Drive-In from Relationship Command in 2000. So I've talked about this band a bit. These. Like, when you talk about bands that change the game for you, there's a few at lineage for me, but these, when I think I was 15 when this album came out, maybe 14, going on 15, my brother-in-law got an advance copy of it from his brother who worked in the business at the time, and he just brought it round because he was with my sister, and he said, Geoff, man, you'll like this, you just get on this. Played it, that opening song, it just starts with these maracas, tom drums, and the guitars are doing all these wild fucking... But as just before, like, the vocals kicking, it stops and it's like, and Cedric's screaming, I must have read 1,000 faces. My 15-year-old mind went, and that was it. And still to this day, nearly 40, like, that album, I can play it any time and still thoroughly enjoy it. For me, again, it's a great opener. I'll talk a little bit about it because I think this album's sequenced fucking perfectly. I think every track fits exactly right where it is. And I think if you look at certain albums that are considered high watermark classics in their genre or subgenre, that is probably a consistent thing. Like, the whole album sequences well, like every song comes in at the right time. This opens and then straight into the second track almost with no break. But yeah, again, when I saw them live on one of the reunions in 2012, this is what they opened with. How could you not? But as I say, anyway, Arcarsenal by At the Drive-In, it's fucking amazing.
My next, I've gone Madball, Set It Off.
Nice.
Not really a band I listen to too much these days, it's got to be said. But what a brilliant opening song from a brilliant album. I mean,
yeah, it's great.
When I was first getting into hardcore as a kid, it was with albums like that all my life.
Yeah.
And you know, the track starts off with what only we can presume is like the streets of basically the sounds of the streets of New York in the more rough. It's, you know, you hear like a prostitute approaching someone. You hear, you know, a few other things going on, and then obviously it opens with "We don't fake it, we just take it" like that, and then you hear the din, you hear that and all that. And then I always liked that album most because I always thought Freddie's vocals were the best on that album. I always, you know what I mean?
It's the best album.
Yeah, I think it's And yeah, it's one of their... I've seen them a load of times, and it's one of the songs I always look forward to hearing most. Lyrics are brilliant. The groove is brilliant. Yeah. It's a great, great opener. So yeah, more of a nostalgic pick, I think, for me. That's one.
What the driving kind of was for me as well. It's just one that takes you back to when you first heard it, didn't it? Fucking blowing your mind when you're a teenager. Okay, so fourth pick for me, I've got Myage by Descendents from Milo Goes to College. Which came out in 82, and you know the band, you'll know the song. And the drums are going to get fat, but it's fucking great. What opens up to one of my favourite albums of all time. Again, one of my favourite openers of all time by one of my favourite punk bands of all time. But it's a fucking amazing song, great melodies. It's got even like a key change and everything from the off. And I know now there's different musicians are in the band, the guitar and bass, but the musicianship in this band's always been so fucking tight and brilliant. Great songwriting. And I when I watched the documentary filmage, Bill Stevenson, who's the drummer and one of the songwriters, obviously he said he didn't play bass, but he saw a bass in a bin in one of his neighbours' houses and just took it in home and wrote that bass line like almost straight away. And it's iconic. It's one of their biggest songs. It's fucking great and just tuning, birth of pop punk, or at least on the lineage all the way to what pop punk became. Full of melody, full of grit and piss and vinegar. Love it.
Babylon's Burning, the Ruts. I've said it a lot. This was easy because I've said it a load of times on this channel that I think it's one of the best opening tracks ever in punk. So it was always, it was probably the first one I thought of. I thought I can't not pick this because I've said so many times. Babylon's Burning by the Ruts is the best 70s album opener in my opinion. Yeah. 70s punk album opener. Okay. It starts off with that, the sound of the siren, and then and it gets you in the mood straight away. And that is an album where the quality doesn't drop. No. The quality does not drop there. It's fucking every song. I've always said about the Ruts, I think every song could have been a single. That's how brilliant they are, how brilliant the songwriting is. From Babylon's Burning all the way through, they could, do you know what I mean? Yeah. They could have, you listen to it and you're just like, you can't, every now and then I listen to it and I kind of, I forget the order of the songs and I stick it in and I just lie there on my bed. And then the next one will start and I'll go, oh, fucking hell, this is a brilliant song, this as well. Then that'll finish and the next one, fucking hell, this is a brilliant song as well. Yeah. And then that one will finish and then there's no filler. The next one, oh, fucking, and it's just literally, and even like the compilation album, like Grin and Bear It and all that, like it's
song after song.
Yeah, it's like great. I've always, one of the things I've always said is like when their B sides are as good as the you've got a fucking unbelievable band. Yeah. And I've harped on about the Ruts a lot on here, and Babylon's Burning is one of the best singles, and it's definitely, in my opinion, the best opening song of a 70s punk album. Nice.
That's an excellent choice, like. Yeah. Final pick for me then. So I've gone for Turnover by Fugazi off repeater. I was toying with Waiting Room.
It's a good song.
Because obviously, I didn't pick Waiting Room because it's on a compilation, really. 13 songs, there's 2 EPs together. And also, when I thought about it, and I thought, Turnover's the one, it's got to be the fucking great opener. Just, you know it. If you know the song with that doom, 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 doom. Down, bow, bow, bow. And it sets the album up again perfectly. Like, again, Repeater is an album I think is flawless. It's sequenced perfectly. It's quite a slower paced track, obviously, than some of the other songs on it as well. But just a fucking great opener. Guy's vocals. I love his vocals anyway. But and I love this band. And much like Danny said about the Ruts, I've waxed lyrical about Fugazi many, many times. So not much else to say on it. How much I think they're great. That's a great song off a great album. And one of my favourite opening songs.
So what's your honourable mention?
I know Deny Everything by the Circle Jerks from Group Sex.
Brilliant song. I'm gonna be a bit controversial. I'm gonna throw a spanner in the works. I'm gonna go Clash City Rockers by The Clash. Off the American version of the Clash album.
Which is not the real version, man.
I don't care. I'm going for it. I don't care. I love Clash City Rockers.
Fair play.
And if I can have a second one, I'm going to go Love Song by The Damned.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay, I'm going to break the rules a little bit today.
Okay, smashing the rules?
Yeah.
Hang on, I need a second one here.
Go on then.
I'll go kill the poor dead Kennedys then, off fresh fruit for rotten vegetables.
You can't tell. You gotta not tell them. You gotta throw a few red herrings in every now and then. Plan it in your mind.
Keep you on your toes. Keep it tasty. Well, thanks for watching anyway.
We're off to see the Verucas now in Liverpool.
Yeah, we are.
So.
But yeah, so, you know, like, subscribe, you know, the score, ring the bell if you wanted some notifications. We're on the socials, Instagram, Facebook. Send us a message, comment, follow, like, all that stuff. It's all appreciated. Thanks again. See you next time.